All right, here we are. Hello. Hello, everyone. How are you? There we go. That's what was wrong. Is it was centered so that I was in the middle, and I don't do that when we're here together, so that I sit in the middle of. There it is. It is. How's it going, man? Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah. I don't, I don't. Yeah, death sucks. We don't like death. Fuck cancer. Just gonna throw that out there right out the gate. Yeah, I went to a. I need to. Can't hear. What? Muted my ass. Oh, hold on. What the fuck did I do? No, that's me. No, it's that thing. Every time I update OBS, I have to come in here and pick my fucking sound thing. Digital. This properties for Pastor. Playback left, right. I'm pretty sure I can hear you right now. It's really. Oh, that's. Okay, hold on. I think. Yeah, I think you're not. I think I. Hold on. There. Maybe now? Okay, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Hey, at least you could tell.
There we go. All right, I think we're back to functionally normal now.
All right, are we there?
Yes, we're there.
Waiting for some response from Reaper on the phone and
Reaper is full of poop. It sounds amazing. I don't know what he's talking about.
All right, well, that's okay. Well, actually, I guess I could have just unmuted the stream and found out.
That's true. But why would we do that?
So we had dead today.
Yeah, it's been okay. I'm just gonna throw this out here. It's been a fucking busy 2 weeks. Okay.
You are not lying, sir. It's just like things just don't seem to stop.
No, not at all.
I think like things just are not stopping.
Yeah. Like any one thing that's happened over the last 2 weeks would be fine if it was just the one thing. But it's just a lot of shit all at once. It's like the world is warming up, and all the shit that we didn't do over winter because we were like, it's winter, is like, oh, let's have all the shit happen now. I got a camera up my ass Tuesday.
Sir?
That was a whole thing. Yeah, you know, I'm of the age in which I must do the camera up the ass.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shouldn't you have like another 6 or 7 years for that?
I mean, you're supposed to start at 45, but I have cancer in the family, so they were like...
Have had your weird butt issues.
Yeah, and when I was dealing with those, my doctor was like, while we're at it, since you have all this shit here, like, why don't we just go take a look? So, like, 3 years ago, I had it done, and they found 6 polyps.
Oh,
which is enough that they're like, you should come back next year. But then COVID happened.
Right.
And they were like, you know what? Don't worry about it. We'll get back in touch with you later. And then they did.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. But they only found 1 polyp this time, which is dope.
Oh, that's good.
And he said I should come back in 2 or 3 years. And if it's the same then it's 5 years. So,
okay. That's not so bad.
Yeah. And
so how was it?
It was fine. I actually don't mind that whole thing. The worst part about the entire thing is drinking that fucking liquid.
I have heard that is truly the worst. Now, did you do the go to sleep stuff or the don't remember stuff?
I did the go to sleep stuff. They gave me the propofol.
Okay.
I was out.
Okay. Because I know that there's like 2 options. Like they either do the don't remember stuff or the... I feel like everyone's life would be easier if they give you the go to sleep stuff.
Yeah. The idea of being awake during that process, I don't give a shit if I'm not going to remember.
Even if you don't remember.
I don't need it. I don't need to be there in the moment while it's happening.
And it just seems like it would cause so many more problems, right? Like, because there's going to be involuntary reactions.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure, I would tense up in times when I should. And the idea of feeling that happening.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I'm sure. No. I'm sure that there are people who are into that.
Oh yeah, I am not one of those.
Right.
I don't want to know what it feels like when they pull a polyp out of my insides.
Maybe that is what the no remembery stuff is for. It's like you're gonna have the best time of your life, but you're not gonna remember it.
True. That's true. That was really good though. The doctor that I got's really dope.
Did you feel all cleaned out afterwards?
Oh my god, for like 2 days I was like in heaven. And now I'm a bloated old man again.
Well,
but it's good. It was good. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was whatever. I took Monday off as well, so I had like a long weekend, which was nice.
That's nice.
I kind of needed a break.
I
needed a break.
I ended up like I just had like the weirdest assortment of not like
Hi, Bar Lazy.
contractor issues that like weren't the contractor's fault but just happened like. But the good news is I have air conditioning now.
Nice. So do you have the new power?
Yes,
we got
I have
new shiny power.
So I have shiny new power.
Nice.
So that happened Friday actually. Like a week ago, we got the shiny new power run.
Nice.
So on Tuesday, the air conditioner folk could come out and they're like, you can turn these things on now. And I'm like, I'd feel a lot better turning these things on with you present. So they lit everything up.
Nice.
Ended up just, because other jobs took a while and they were really trying to like sneak us in. It took them a while to get here. But yeah, I have cold air blowing on me right now. And it is
nice?
So nice.
I have a fan on above me.
Well, I've like right over there on the floor is a vent. So that'll be real nice in wintertime. It'll be real nice in summertime. It'll just be nice.
Yeah. Guillermo, what did you do?
And then the next, actually the next thing we have to do is get our ducts cleaned because I don't think our ducts have been cleaned.
For some reason, I don't care how much you emphasize that. I still picture you like scrubbing ducks.
Like those poor little ducks with the that have been covered in oil.
Azrael, no greater sin than central air.
But yeah, I'm very excited to have cold air blowing on me right now.
Nice. Congratulations.
But yeah, like then we've got. So did I tell you about the welcome to the city letter I got?
Yes.
Like I can't remember if I talked about that on stream or not.
Yes, you did.
So finally got like, so the broken heaved up concrete slab is gone. Like the crew came in, they got rid of it.
Cool.
But they can't pour the new one until the tree is gone. And the tree crew was supposed to be here yesterday. And they were there, but then they looked at the job and were like, we don't have the right stuff for this, because they thought that they were going to be able to like just shrink down the lanes of traffic and still have traffic like be able to go both ways.
Oh, right.
But they're going to have to actually like block off the lane and not have 2 lanes of traffic.
Oh.
So they have to get like different things.
Yeah.
And then there was some other stuff that was just like outside of their control. Like they were supposed to have an officer there to help them direct traffic, and the PD like was short staffed that day and didn't have anybody to spare.
Oh.
And it's like, okay. So now the tree's happening like next week, which is fine. And luckily, like the tree guy and the concrete guy know each other, so they're just coordinating all their stuff.
Oh, nice.
So that has been real nice, actually.
It actually takes a lot of stress off of you, which is great.
Yeah. So he can just be like, yeah, I'll get in touch with the concrete guy. I'm like, okay. But it's just like another thing.
Right.
And then I got family coming in town this weekend, which like I'm not even going to be home for. Like I have so much like work that I have to do.
Oh, gotcha.
And like, because I was fixing to take Monday off, but now I have a funeral, so.
Oh yeah. Well, you get the next Monday off. Do you get Memorial Day off?
I should have Memorial Day off.
There. See, we'll both be off together. Not together. Yep. We'll both be off at the same time.
If you wanted to come up, you could. Like it's not that far to drive.
How much? I'd probably fly though. Why would I drive all that? Ugh.
It's actually not that far, dude.
Is it not?
Yeah, it's
It's like, it's got to be like 8 hours at least.
Hold on. Hold on. Lex Vegas. Oh, come on, Google. Get it together, Google. To Podunk, PA.
Is that the official name of the city you live in?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's like 6.5 hours.
Oh, that's actually not as bad. So you're like as far away as my parents. A little more.
Yeah,
but
actually,
not bad.
Yeah, just about.
Weird, but in the totally other direction.
Yeah, you have to go through Ohio direction.
See, that like adds 8 hours right there, just because it's Ohio.
The horror.
At least you'd be in other states in those, not like out west. I mean, that's true, except it's Ohio. Like, I don't want to go to Ohio.
I still remember, like, when we drove out here, like, you could tell the second that we entered and exited Ohio because it was like Silent Hill fog the entire way.
Nice.
Like, not even joking. Silent Hill fog the entire way.
Did it do that thing where you're riding on the road and it's nice, and then you hit the Ohio border and it turns into just a sea of potholes?
Just about. The other crazy thing, going from Utah to Wyoming, you also could immediately tell where the road switch is. And it's like, holy crap.
They do that on purpose, I think, because they want people to turn around.
Maybe.
They're like, we don't want you to like it.
Wyoming.
Yeah. Like, no, there's too many of us here already.
The better. We have the lowest population density of any state in the country, and we like it that way.
We want it lower. We actively shoot each other to get those numbers down.
Is Wyoming's population density lower than Alaska?
Yes, I believe so.
U.S. states by population density. Not population density. Well, the holy crap, District of Columbia. No, Alaska is less dense than Wyoming by like a lot.
Not a whole lot. The Alaska's 1.2 per square mile, and Wyoming is 5.8.
That's still that's quite a bit.
I mean, but if you look at any other states,
well, Montana's pretty close. Like, I know that's not saying much.
Okay. More arid, dry nothing is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, like, some of these are kind of surprising. Like, I would have thought Hawaii was more dense than it is.
I mean, it can't be that dense. There's not that many people there. I mean, there's not enough space to make it.
Well, right. That's what I mean. Like, I just assumed that it would like have a higher population density because like there's not a lot of land.
I mean, I guess that's fair. Like we think of Japan as being super dense because of being an island, right?
Yeah.
An island nation. I apologize because there are more than one islands in the Japan.
There are more than one islands in the Japan.
See, I know things. Sometimes. Today was not one of those days.
The population density of the United States is 8 times higher than Canada and 1/15 that of South Korea.
So what is the population density of the United States? Like, if we all had to share.
What is population density?
Tokoyo is pretty dense as a city.
Tokoyo. United States by density. That's not what I wanted.
Oh.
One of those stupid hexagon maps. Population. No. Actually, let's look for. Let's see. If
36 people per kilometer squared. Why would you pick these fucking numbers? 94 people per mile squared.
94 people per mile. Okay. It is the... The median age of the United States is 38 years?
38.3.
Oh, sorry. 38.3.
I have a story to tell you.
Okay.
I bought a guitar.
Yes, you did.
It's a beautiful guitar. Well, the first one I got was not beautiful, right? I bought that guitar. The day I got the guitar, I signed up for Rocksmith online. The Rocksmith Plus. I got a year, which is like $100 and something, but I got 3 months free, so it was like 15 months of stuff for $100.
Okay.
I was like, okay, whatever. So I play a game, love the game, it's great. Then I realized that the neck on my guitar is broken,
Right.
and it won't fucking stay in tune. So I sent it back.
Yeah, and then they like immediately just no, it was some complicated, but you got a new
A little
one.
bit, yeah. Got the new one, but like a week went by where I didn't have a guitar, so I wasn't playing the game.
Yeah.
Get the new guitar, get it all set up. Go to launch the game. There's an update. It updates the game. I was like, okay, whatever. Then when I try to boot the game, it shows the like Ubisoft logo and then dumps to desktop. And I was like, that sucks.
Oh.
Must have been something in that update, right? So I email their support and I'm like, hey, here's what's going on. 2 weeks later, I email them again and say, hey, actually it was a week later. I emailed them and was like, hey, it's been a week. Just wanted to see what was going on. No response.
Okay.
2 weeks go by. I send them a thing again. And I'm like, hey, what the fuck's happening here?
Yeah.
At the month mark, they sent me a message back.
Oh.
And they were like,
finally.
cool, that you're going to get a link in your email. You need to click that to prove that you're you. And I was like, okay.
Sure. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, and they said somewhere in the things it said dump your files from, like, run a dxdiag and just dump your shit,
of course.
whatever.
The normal stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So I did all of that, like, within minutes of them giving me that message. I did that. And then another 2 weeks goes by. Right. So at this point, I'm pissed off.
Because you've lost 2 months of this thing that you've paid for.
Yeah. And they're not responding at all. Like I've emailed multiple times, I've sent multiple updates to this thing, nothing's happening. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I contact them on Twitter and I'm like, hey, I originally contacted them on Twitter a month in, and I was like, it has been a month since I submitted this ticket and I've gotten nothing in response. Like,
yeah,
I understand that you guys may be behind, but a month is ridiculous. And they wrote back and were like, sorry, we're really far behind, blah, 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 blah. We'll do what we can.
Hire more people, maybe? Like, why is, I don't understand.
Right.
Like,
And
they're
like,
a massive company. Like, just, how are you behind?
Like, like almost instantaneously, I got that response from their support team on Twitter. And I was like, okay, so if a month doesn't phase them, then whatever.
Yeah.
And digging around online, that seems to be pretty normal for Ubisoft, but I just wanted to, hey. So another 2 weeks go by, and I hit them up on Twitter again, and I'm like, I go to write an update to the ticket, right? And say, hey, it's been another 2 fucking weeks. Come on. And when I do that, I get a response, an automated email response that says, sorry, our system is broken. Try again some other time.
Oh.
And I was like, so I on Twitter wrote him again and was like, this is the response that I just got from your team after a month of waiting, after spending over $100 on the game and waiting over a month. This was the response that I get, was like, sorry, our shit's broken, figure it out yourself. And I was pissed. So I called my bank and was like, I need you to just get my money back. They are not providing the service that I paid for. Give me my money back. So they did. They were like, all right, cool.
Good job, bank.
Yeah. And they're super quick. I just explained what was going on. The dude's like, cool, I'll take care of it. Next day, the money was in my account.
Wow.
So I get a response on the ticket. Hitting them up on Twitter, actually, they responded and were like, shoot us your ticket number and I'll see if I can find out who's in charge of it and what's going on. And I was like, cool. They responded to the ticket and they're like, send us new diag info.
As if it's changed in 2 months.
And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go to do that. I did that. And then they responded with, do a clean launch, which is like this huge complicated process of like turning a bunch of shit off in Windows and then rebooting your computer.
That's not a solution, but
Yeah.
okay.
And I'm like, let me just try it again, because I hadn't tried it in like 2 weeks. And one of the problems that I was having is the launcher was dying. Like that update broke the launcher as well.
Their launcher, if I haven't played an Ubisoft game in a minute, but their launcher like kind of sucks.
It's awful.
It's really, really bad.
But before, I could go directly to the game, double click the icon for the game, and it would bypass the launcher and just go straight to the game and then dump to the desktop. This time when I did that, it took me to the launcher and the launcher died. And I was like, oh, everything's fucking broken. So I got mad and I completely uninstalled the game, completely uninstalled the launcher, uninstalled everything dealing with Ubisoft. And then for shits and giggles, actually I left the game. I left the game where it was, but I uninstalled the launcher and everything else and then reinstalled the launcher. Just maybe I can at least get the launcher working. The launcher's working now. And guess what has an update?
The game.
The game. And guess what happens after that update installs?
Crashes and dies.
Nope. Works fucking perfect now.
All right.
So I play it for a few minutes just to make sure that like it's actually working, and it's fucking working now. So I go look at my accounts. I go look at my account, and they haven't processed yet that I took my money back from them.
Oh.
And now I don't know.
You don't know if you're gonna have to buy this again.
I don't know what to do.
Limbo.
I don't know. Like, they said the bank said it could take up to 90 days to fully process the transaction. That I would see my money, but it might not actually be mine yet, which is fine. Whatever, I get it. So it's possible. I don't know. It's possible that they'll end up taking my money again. I don't know what to do now. Like, I don't know. Like, morally
you're
in
not
the
gonna hear about them
situation
for another like month, so it doesn't really matter.
And that's part of me is like, how long is it going to take them to even notice?
Right.
If everything over there is such a shit show, are they even going to notice that I didn't pay, or that I took my money back?
Right.
It's so, and I had already processed a cancellation on the re-up. So in a year, it's set to cancel anyway.
Right. Well, but if
So
it
I
ends
don't
up
know.
like, if it ends up working, then
I know, but then I feel like if I go play the game every day and love it, is that bad?
no, I think it's worth getting your money back for being jerked around for 2 months.
I mean, I felt like, well, they at least owe me a month, right? That I was, or a month and a half, 2 months, whatever, that I wasn't able to play. But then I realized I got 3 months for free. So I don't know. I don't know what's fair.
Just keep
anymore.
doing your thing.
That's kind of my thought. I'm just gonna play dumb. Although I can't now. I just fucking said it on the internet.
Well,
Nobody watches this shit.
right. Like, what are they
gonna do? Who cares?
What game was it? It was Assassin's Creed 50 Bazillion.
Yes. I guess I shouldn't feel guilty.
Like,
I do.
I mean,
love
one,
it.
you couldn't play it for 2 months.
Yeah.
Like, at the very least, you shouldn't have to, like...
And Ubisoft is a giant bag of dicks.
They really are.
Reaper's not wrong about them sucking. So that was another thing. So I got a camera up my ass. I had all this shit happening with this game. I had a funeral today. Work's been crazy because the funeral, the thing that I went to was for a coworker. Things have just been weird at the office anyway. So I don't know. It's all...
Everything's just...
It's a lot right now.
Everything is a lot.
I said this at my last job. Whenever I put time off, like I put in to get official time off, right? Which I have a week off coming up for my birthday. I took the week of my birthday off. It's like the universe knows...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
that you need a break, right? They're like, oh, you took a vacation, you need a break. So we're going to just start slowly ramping up from now until the time you actually get your break. It's just going to get worse.
Yep.
From now until so that by the time you get off that last day of work, you're going to be so happy to be off of work.
Well, there is something, though, like, there was stuff that I was like just stressing out about yesterday that like now today just aren't as big of a deal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Like, and that part's kind of nice.
Yeah. It kind of
Like that part of it's nice. And like it is different when people die, like for me, because that's my job.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
But like, yeah, just it's weird.
It's yeah. And that's not even getting into the ballet of shit that goes on in my brain whenever I think about death.
Oh, okay.
And just like as a culture in the United States right now, like our association with death and like what we do when people die, it's all just
So
weird.
I was talking to this retired pastor. So kind of a year and a half late, my like immediate like pastor supervisor assigned me a mentor, which is good. Like I was kind of like one of the things that he asked when like we were meeting was like, well, what could, you know, we as a mission district have done to ease your transition? I'm like, done this a year ago. Like, and I'm like just trying, I'm explaining like it's not just about the like in a new church it's good to have somebody to chat with, like it's also just learning the logistics of living in a new state.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course we in these United States, every single state does everything different.
Mm-hmm. I just barely cracked the book on that when I was looking into what it takes for me to marry people.
Oh, right.
And
yeah.
like the slew of nonsense that is marriage in the United States.
The nice thing is like if one state does a marriage, then every other state pretty much has to recognize it.
Right.
But like it's crazy. So some states, if you are recognized by a religious institution, then you can marry people. And it's like that straightforward.
I know what it is here.
But like other states, you have to have like a local sponsoring organization.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
like I've got a wedding I'm doing back in Utah in a couple months. And that like, even though I'm not like ordained at a church in Utah, like it doesn't matter. Like I am ordained somewhere, I can do the wedding. But yeah, there are some places where you have to like have a local church to like recognize that you are.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the whole reason that the church that I got ordained through started, was because they believed that putting that step specifically between people's ability to get married and not was, in their eyes, went against the concept of marriage. Okay, whatever.
There are a lot of states I'm learning allow you to self-solemnize your marriage, where like you don't need an officiant. No, like, and it's weird. So like Colorado, where Mrs. Pastor and I got married. I couldn't officiate my own wedding.
Right.
But if we wanted to solemnize our own wedding, like just Mrs. Pastor and I, we could have done that without an officiant. We would have just said, yep, we're married, and like sign the paperwork ourselves.
How does that work?
I don't know.
But you can't do it yourself?
Well, like I couldn't be the officiant at my own wedding.
But you could just say,
could
I'm not the
have
officiant, but here's the paperwork.
Yeah. So like it kind of gets around the whole like having to find a justice of the peace thing.
True.
Or like a county clerk or whatever. Like it just gets around that.
Which can be helpful.
Yeah. If you're not a religious type and you don't know a religious type who's willing to not be all that religious. Like,
or you're in Kentucky and you have county clerks that just decide not to do their job because of religious reasons.
Well, I mean, that could still be an issue, but yeah, like, so anyways, where this started at was, I was meeting with this guy and we were talking about like all of the different ways that our culture just refuses to deal with death.
Yeah. Yeah. This doesn't actually happen at all.
Right. Like, because you can't refuse to deal with death. Like, you have to deal with it, but just like, it is so just, and especially like that the boomer generation, like has so very much just not, and it all started like when their parents started dying, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't want to deal with their own parents' death, so they put them in homes.
Right.
And then they so don't want to deal with their own death that they've like alienated their kids. So like they're like,
yeah, people don't die; they pass
no,
away.
yeah,
right.
Like, all the way, like kicking the bucket.
Yeah, which is weird because like we don't deal with that death enough to know how to process it. You know, like so much of it is just kind of shoved away behind doors or curtains,
right,
and like not talked about or dealt with. So like when it happens, we have no tools.
We make the dead body go away.
Yeah.
And it's somebody else's problem.
They pass away, right? We pass them away to the fucking people that deal with this shit.
That's why, like, as much as I don't like open casket funerals, like there is some importance to like seeing the body and going like, oh, that was my loved one. Like, it's not now, but that was.
Yeah. It was weird today. Like, and I think I needed that today. That was the one thing that I needed from that whole, cause like he had been sick.
Yeah.
And like he'd been dealing with cancer for a long time. But he also hasn't been in the office in 2 months or something. And it's been bad for the last couple months. So I didn't know, like he had lost so much weight. He was just skin and bones. And he was like 6'7", like he's a big dude. So to see him like that was like, okay, there's what I needed to like click it in my brain or whatever.
But like whether it's, and you're right, Reaper, there are some folk that would still say that is their loved one. But like,
true.
I have not once seen a dead body and gone, that is the person anymore. Yeah. Like that is just their meat sack at this point.
Yeah.
Because it never, no matter how good of a job they do, like but this is why I always encourage people to do something.
Yeah.
Like, because having that something where you just acknowledge in public, this person is dead. Like that helps to get past the death.
Yeah. Like the whole thing today, they did I guess it's not technically a wake, it's a whatever
like the visiting thing.
Yeah, visitation. And then they had a ceremony. That's what they call it
now. It's all fancy.
Yeah. They had a ceremony of sorts, but he's being cremated and interned like in a couple months.
Oh, yeah.
Or, I guess they'll cremate him now and then intern him later. So the ceremony was really just like it wasn't a funeral. It was hey, let's all get together and try to process this kind of
memorial service is what they're called. Yeah. It's a funeral when there's a body. It's a memorial service when there isn't.
Well, technically there was a body.
Oh.
It hadn't gone through that process yet. But they weren't putting it in the ground.
Well, no, but like wouldn't. Yeah, so like in the service, and Catholics are weird. Like they don't, because for it to be a funeral, it has to be. They have different rules. I want an open bar at your funeral. You can do that.
Hell yeah. I want a band. That was the thing. My friend that passed away, she was in a dance troupe, and the dance troupe performed at her funeral, and like. At one point, they went out into the audience and grabbed people and were like, everyone come dance. Like, she would love that. And it was actually kind of a dope experience because she would have absolutely loved that.
Like, there's there's always like it's always a tough thing, right? Because like funerals and memorial service, like those do not exist for the person who's deceased, right? Like I've seen people like stress themselves out because they want to like get just right what the dead person wanted. And I'm like, and I always want to be like, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, what is going to help you get through this?
Yeah.
Because like, they're not going to notice or care.
Johnny had a friend pass away right after we moved back here, and he was like super goth, right? This dude was super goth his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And they put him in like this brown suit.
Ugh.
That was just kind of gross looking.
That's just such a bad choice anyways.
Yeah. But like, I was kind of offended. I was like, why would you put him in a brown suit? That's fucked up. And I was talking to Johnny about it, and I was like, isn't that weird to you? And he's like, no, this is for his grandma that raised him. Like, this has nothing to do with him. This is what she needs to process this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that tracks.
And that's when it's good to have like unofficial things.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in a situation like that, that's when you go out to the bar and like have a couple drinks for so and so, like listen to his music, like
yeah, like
share those memories.
I want them to play Spooky Scary Skeletons and Dead Man's Party. Yeah. I want Dead Man's Party playing on a loop.
Mrs. Pastor knows full well that I need to be salted as well as burnt.
Salted.
I want to make sure I don't come back.
Okay, and salting would do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've watched Supernatural.
I haven't.
Oh, well, yeah, that's why.
The movies I watch would say that I need to put a stake through your heart and cut your head off.
Well, that works too.
Okay.
I mean, that's...
Can I do that?
Sure.
Can we make sure that happens?
Yeah, I'll let Mrs. Pastor know. You're going to come up and put a stake through my heart and cut my head off.
I don't think I could do it, man.
Oh, okay.
I've been on those websites. I don't think I could do that to you.
Even when I'm already dead?
No, it would be too weird. It would be way too weird. I could hire a butcher to do it. Do you think?
Okay.
Do you think you could hire a butcher to do that?
I mean, I'm sure. Like honestly, I am sure that funeral directors have had weirder requests.
That's true. And to be honest, the person who's doing like all of the stuff to the body would probably do that for you anyway. You probably don't have to hire a third party.
Yeah, they'd do it. They'd handle it.
They'd be like, sure, fuck it, why not? I want a video of me at my service telling people not to be sad, or so help me, I'll never speak to you again. I always thought it would be fun. I guess this is like a thing that people do now. Like there's people who get like at the funeral service, they're like on their motorcycle.
Oh,
like
weird.
In front of everyone. Or like I saw a picture of a dude in his car. Like they had him all set up in his car because he was really into cars.
Like Weekend at Bernie's-ing it.
Yeah. And I'm like, that might be kind of cool. Like just take my computer and everything. Just set this up and all.
People do like want their loved ones buried with the weirdest things.
Yeah. I find that odd.
Like I'm just like, but don't you want the stuff to like? You can sell that, like.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because like my family growing up, the funerals that I went to, nobody did anything like that. Nobody put stuff in the coffin. Nobody touched the bodies. Like it was very. We're here to look and whatever.
Yeah.
And like the first funeral I went to here with Johnny's family, like people were putting pictures and bottles of liquor and packs of cigarettes and stuff, and I was like, what are they doing? It's stuff for him to take with him. And I was like, oh, okay.
So he doesn't run out of smokes in the afterlife.
Those 20, that's all you get.
Right.
Hope they last. I want to be shot into space. Okay.
Like, I think part of the problem, like because we don't talk about stuff like that, because it just makes people uncomfortable, right? Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah, because they don't want to think about themselves dying.
Right. Because like, I remember I was telling somebody about like the memorial tattoos I want to get like for my parents when they die, and they're like, well, how can you think about that? Like,
I know, right? It's like, what's gonna happen?
Die.
either here's the thing, it's either gonna happen, right? Because if they pass away before me, I'm going to get it done, or it's not going to happen because I'm going first.
Right.
And look, I've just wasted an afternoon thinking about something.
Yeah. And I just don't like yes, like I admit, like I don't like the idea of my parents dying, but chances are they're gonna go before me.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I don't know.
I just don't get the like stubbornness of just refusing to accept it.
Yeah. Well, I hit a weird point here recently where like I started thinking about what's going to happen to all of my shit when I die.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And like what happens if I'm the last one, right? What happens if everyone that I know goes first and I'm the last one? What am I going to do with all this shit?
Well, I'm going to run into that, like, because I'm the, like, on my mom's side of the family, I'm the only grandkid. Like, I already have a ton of stuff for my grandparents, and like, I can't get rid of it, but I don't want, like, I have the Bible that my grandmother carried when she got married. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
But, like, what am I going to do with that?
So, personal question. And you can tell me to fuck right off if you want to. Has there been any discussion about children in your future?
Oh, yeah, it's not happening. Like, we might decide to adopt, but, like, bio kids aren't happening.
So, that brings up something interesting. You are the end of the line for a lot of people.
Yep.
Like, generations of people end with you.
Yep.
That's interesting. Like, I am technically the end of my bloodline, but because my parents are divorced, it doesn't really count, right?
Yeah.
I'm the end of a bloodline that like doesn't really exist anyway. And like I am the end of my mom, but my mom has brothers, lots of brothers who have like I have tons of cousins on both sides. Like
right, and I've got a ton of like second cousins on that side. So like the line itself's going to continue,
but like that's just weird.
Well, and like I know for us, like our big thing is like, what if we go? Like, who's going to take care of the dog?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
because we're always going to have animals, and it's like, and if just one of us goes, then yeah, that buys us some time. But like,
yeah,
if we both go at the same time,
yeah, we've had conversations about that with our friends about like, you know, if something happens to the two of us. Will you take or at least try to find homes for these animals, or like I'm putting you in charge of this kind of thing.
You're in charge of Nubs. You're in charge of
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. It's just weird. Death is so weird, man.
Yeah. But it doesn't have to be like the thing that like our culture treats it. Like I do think like millennials like have such an, so I remember this conversation that Mrs. Pastor had with a coworker, because she brought up the like that college student attitude, right? Of, yeah, go ahead and hit me with your car. Like I get a semester of school paid for that way.
Right.
Like that just DGAF, like, and her coworker was horrified. She's like, what? Like, yeah, either you die or you get a semester of school paid for because you get a settlement. Like, what? Either way, you win.
I've said a couple things at work that I thought were funny. It's shit that I joke about all the time with like my friends, like you people. But I forget sometimes that like,
yeah,
you know, work's a different environment, and I've said, and people know me and know that like my sense of humor is a little fucked up, but like I have said things and people genuinely were like, this is dark, dude. And I'm like, hey, it's about me, I'm fine.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to death, people just get so uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I find it odd because it's the only thing. It's one of two things that everyone experiences, right? We all are born and we all die. Those are the only two things that we all share.
Probably not going to remember either of them.
Right. But like, those two things, for some reason, no, we're not going to talk about those.
Yeah.
All right.
My first girlfriend had that mentality until I pointed out that I didn't want to have her crippled and be dependent on others for the rest of her life, and she changed that attitude pretty quick. Well, that just took a dark turn, didn't it?
I mean, that's
How dare you suggest that she would need to be dependent on others for the rest of her life?
Yeah.
That's ableist.
That
dude.
is ableist. The hell, man.
Come on now.
And how do you know anything? I was trying. It was there. It started. And like,
how do you know?
How do you know
anything? Oh
God! Dude, my brain is
squirrely.
Fried.
Ooh, dessert. I just had magical appearing Swiss rolls
Look. Oh my God, Swiss rolls sound so good.
from Aldi too.
Nice. Wait, are they like Aldi brand?
I don't know actually.
No.
Probably.
If they're not, what is it? Debbie does.
If they're not Debbie Does Dallas.
Debbie does. There was a Debbie Does Donuts in Colorado growing up. There was a topless donut joint.
That's fantastic.
And yeah, it was.
One of my favorite things in Utah, there used to be 2 strip clubs, and they closed when they changed the laws about like alcohol and toplessness.
Oh.
But there was one in Salt Lake called Southern Exposure, and one in Ogden, about an hour north, called Northern Exposure.
Nice. You know, Northern Exposure came first, right? It had to be. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, "What do we call the other one down south? What do we call it? Southern Exposure." Oh. And yes, we have already determined that you know nothing, Jon Snow. We watched Hollywood. Have you watched that show?
We caught up with Ted Lasso.
Oh, nice.
That's been fun. I'm glad that show was like, because the producers have been like, we've told the story we want to tell. Like, this is the story we want to tell is over. We're not ruling out anything, but I'm really glad that like that's happening now. That, like, that happened already, and not while the writers are striking.
Yeah.
For like seemingly simple things, like, hey, maybe don't use AI.
Right, like, I don't understand. There's so much shit going on in the world right now that I just don't fucking understand. Like, I don't understand how we got here. Like, I understand how we got here, but I don't understand why. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a meme going around that's like, I never thought I would be in a world where AI and computers were doing all of the art and music, and people were still slaving away, doing all of the hard work. I'm like,
because that's what we were sold, right? Is like what we were sold was computers would do the grunt work,
and
humans would focus on the art and the music,
and we could just make art and music all the time, and it would be amazing.
Although, I used to think, like, because we were all, we were like morbidly excited that the Trump presidency would bring us good punk again, right?
Right.
And we thought it wasn't happening, but it turns out it was just all underground.
I mean,
where it belongs.
Yeah, true. That's fair. That is fair.
Did you hear about the professor in Texas who like plugged students' papers into ChatGPT and asked if ChatGPT wrote it? And of course, ChatGPT was like, "Well, yeah, I wrote it."
Yeah, totally.
But then, like, if you do the slightest bit of research, you find out that, like, it thinks it wrote everything.
Yeah. Yeah, no. There's so many problems. I feel like when OpenAI rolled out ChatGPT, they had a market, right?
Mm-hmm.
People like us, nerds. They thought it would be something that they could give to nerds to get to like beta test this cool thing that they were building.
And then it just went a little out of control.
And then it went viral, and now they're like, whoops.
Yeah. That is whoops.
Whoops. And now every tech company on the planet is trying to like find a way to put AI in their marketing, right?
Oh, it's so stupid.
But we have to
and here's the thing that really ticks me off the most. Like, I can think of several great uses for ChatGPT, but it is not like whoever marketed what ChatGPT is as AI, I really want to punch.
Yeah. No, that we've I've been dealing with this problem directly. um we so we have added AI to our platform. Of course. And basically we have a bunch of files. We need them translated. We're using AI to translate them.
Which
Fine.
now,
Whatever.
again, I like my difficulty with the whole AI thing is like calling it AI conjures up images of like sci-fi AI.
Right.
Like the computer on Star Trek with Silky Majel Barrett's voice.
Right.
Like it conjures up like images of HAL and
Yeah.
like these actual like intelligences, right? Not complicated regurgitation machines.
Yeah. And like it was funny that like how many conversations that we had where I had to keep saying because what we ended up using was AWS. AWS has an AI that actually is designed to translate languages, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't, like Google, you can throw stuff at Google and it will translate the words and put those words back at you. But you end up with Google translated stuff where
Yeah,
your nouns are backwards or whatever.
when you go too far, it ends up as basically gibberish.
Right. It understands words, but it doesn't understand language. And this AI does. So it actually is trying to like conjugate verbs correctly in the other language or whatever.
Right.
But every
Trying to do
time
that weird thing like in English where like when you say the red big dog, it just sounds wrong.
Right.
But there's no real rule why.
No, it's why we know that a zig is sharp and a zag is round, right?
Right. Well, even why we know it's a zigzag and not a zag zig.
Right. A zag zig is not a thing.
It goes tick tock, not talk tick.
Correct.
Like they're rules that no one ever learned. It just happened.
They actually have names. But every conversation, every meeting that we had, every conversation, every phone call, they kept saying ChatGPT. Well, we'll just plug that into ChatGPT. And every time I would say, we're not using ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not made to translate language.
Yeah.
It's something entirely different. Well, you know what I mean. Right. But we work in tech. Mm-hmm. We should be aware. And when we're talking about how we're going to build something, we should not be saying, hey, ChatGPT this and that when we're not using that.
It's like it's like when people talk about getting CAT scans for everything, like colloquially you use that.
Yeah.
But like if you say to a doctor like I had a CAT scan, they will look in your paperwork to see if you had a CAT scan
like,
and find out you had an MRI.
Right. Looks like you had the MRI back on like are you sure? I don't see a cat. Yeah.
You didn't scan any cats.
No. I scanned a cat. That cat right there.
But yeah, like there are great things that you can use
Worst name in the world, by the way.
Yeah, there are great things that you can use that for. Like I think like asking those kind of like, hey, I need a function to do whatever, right? Asking those like straightforward things that have straightforward answers, but as soon as it needs to do any kind of reasoning, it fails.
There was a guy who just got quoted the other day. He's a CEO of one of the big AAA gaming companies, and they were like, "What do you think AI is going to take over video games? You know, how long is it going to be until AAA games are all designed by AI?" And he's like, "It's never going to happen." Because the thing that people enjoy about playing video games is stuff that humans come up with. It's not stuff that AI generates out of nowhere. Like, we're the missing cog in that wheel. Sure, it can make games, but they're not going to be fun games.
Right. Like, I mean, okay. Here's a shining example. The worst part of Skyrim was those stupid Radiant quests. that was just like fetch quest after fetch quest, and they're stupid and they mean nothing.
Yeah.
That's what AI is going to do in games. It's those stupid fetch quests
It's going to be
everyone hates.
It's going to be fetch quest,
escort,
escort, boss fight.
Yeah.
And then level 2 is escort, fetch quest, boss fight.
That's because like it can't do anything new.
Right. I mean, technically, I guess it could. Like, I don't.
Well, but anything. So I see all the filters on TikTok, right?
Right.
And it's all the AI generated filters, but they're
so irritating.
they all are the same.
Yeah, it's all the same shit. It's all just. Those are all just someone has found a way to mid-journey photos on.
Yeah.
And they're
That's
just, let's keep
literally
doing
all
it.
it is. Like the one that turns every dog into a brass statue.
Right.
Like,
I did see.
Great.
I saw a cool one today that it scans your face and then picks the best wedding dress for you, and it puts your face on the model and generates, and it actually is like really good. It did not know what to make of me in a wedding dress. It
You didn't get a
kept
kilt?
it kept making this little like Iranian looking woman with a mustache.
Okay.
I was like, okay, that tracks, I guess. Sure, why not?
But yeah, like I'm so like I'm tired because so I studied this stuff in college, right? Like I turned down a master's to study neural networks.
Right.
Like, because I just, one, I didn't want to work with that professor, and two, like, my life was going in a different direction. But like, so Barlazy, sidetracked. Barlazy asks, I wonder if AI will be able to DM a tabletop RPG with human players. They're trying.
I mean, that
there's some places where it's happening.
Yeah, I can see if you front loaded the work correctly, right? So like if the encounters were set up correctly and like there was a pool of encounters to pull from randomly or something, and then I mean, I can see that being possible.
But I think where AI is going to fail is the situations where like the story of Krod the Barbarian, where somebody tries to like intimidate wood to make itself into a boat. And he rolled a nat 20 and the DM's like,
here's a boat.
Okay, you just intimidated them. Like the AI is not going to know what to do with those kinds of situations.
Right. And the AI is also not going to know when to break the rules to make the game fun, right? Like there are times when you're like, hey, I have an idea. It's crazy and it isn't technically legal, but what if we filled a cream pie with dynamite and, or whatever. And
what if we put dynamite in the baddie's cigar?
Yeah. It'll be great. It'll be perfect.
Like, there's no rule for that.
Right.
And you just have to make something up.
But like, even in the original Dungeon Master Handbook, it talked about how the rules were really just guidelines, that all of those rules are meant to be broken if the situation that would make it more fun is on the other side of that rule break.
Battletech has started putting like rule number 1 is to have fun. Like just explicitly putting in that reminder. Like,
so being racist is now number 2?
I mean, they've actually been pretty good about not being racist.
Okay.
You're
oh no, I'm thinking of 40K. Oh,
yeah. Although they lost a whole, so it was so funny because when 40K started coming out against the white supremacists, they all fled to Battletech, and then they found out real quickly that they were not welcome.
They're like, oh, And yeah, the imagination aspect of it would be interesting to see. Like, the weird thing is, I keep going back to that documentary that everything is a remix. That like
Yeah.
our imagination is really just an amalgamation of all the shit that we've already seen, right?
And AI might get there, right? Like
Right.
it might someday get to that point where it can actually do what a human brain can do
Right. We are
and
not
pull
there.
something. But yeah, we're not there yet.
It is probably not going to happen in our lifetimes. Maybe.
I still love one of my professors got ChatGPT to create like one New Testament scholar as like 3 different people who all disagreed with one another. And he didn't have to try very hard.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's all so, it's all new. Nobody knows what's happening. Nobody knows how we're going to use it. It's like,
Yep.
it's like VR, right? Technology designs solutions to problems that don't exist. We've been doing this for decades.
Oh yeah.
But like when VR came out, everybody was like, oh, this changes everything. Right.
And then everyone figured out how awful it was in the
Right.
80s.
And then they're like, oh, it's actually not quite what we thought it was. Like they said it was this, and it's actually not quite there yet.
Yeah.
And that's what all of this AI shit is. It's
Here's
not
what I
quite
think-
there yet.
Here's what I think is so funny about VR in particular. The VR setup that you had in the 80s was so much better and more immersive than the ones you have now.
I mean, yeah, we
Like the graphics are worlds better now, obviously.
yeah,
But like
for
the
sure.
actual like where you like I remember one in a mall, right? Where like you're
Oh,
strapped
it's
in
in a
and then
mall.
you actually could like walk
Yeah.
forward.
They had the ring, right, with the hooks
Yeah.
that they would hook you to. Yeah, totally.
Like that was so much more of an immersive experience
Mm-hmm.
than the like headset and goofy controllers that you do now.
Yeah. I remember that going to the mall and there would be like 2 or 3 stations set up and you could pick from like 2 different games and they were like shooting game. It was all like first person
Oh, yeah.
shooter shit. Do they still have them? That would be
They
dope.
do they really? Oh man.
Do that. I bet the graphics on those are amazing now.
Wonder if they just have you run CS:GO.
Probably it's probably the same hardware I have.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest. Yeah, it's just everything's weird. The Florida's blown up. The policy's all like. It's exhausting being alive right now,
It really is.
and like I can't. I'm back to that space where like I don't have time anymore.
Yeah.
Like I'm working all the time, and I've got money now, but no time to do anything with it.
Right.
And it's all so fucking exhausting.
Obviously the solution is to buy me stuff.
I mean, what do you want? You want a VR headset? I'll send you this one.
That's nice. Actually, I don't want it if it doesn't have the ring.
Oh, fine. I'll have to. What if I just like got you a ring?
There we go. Well, let's do that. Perfect.
Okay.
Done.
I'll buy you a ring. I'm sure your wife will have no problems with that. So
Funny
this
thing
world is
is, I
exhausting
said-
right now.
This world is right now, and she actually agreed with me. Who's she?
Who is she? Look.
I'm confused.
Reba, you're
Is she in the room?
or did you just type incorrectly and you meant he? I'm very confused.
Oh, my
your
therapist.
therapist.
Okay.
No, I did. Yeah, like
My therapist just told me I have anxiety.
I mean, do we not all have anxiety at this point?
Right. I think we all do.
I found out recently. So I have a horrible memory. I've always had a horrible memory. I don't understand it.
Wait, who are you?
What am I doing here? But like, I don't remember. Like, if I think back
Oh,
to
and thank you, Barlazy. I think of this stream as one of my ways to process the stuff in the world that drives me crazy.
oh, well, I'm glad it serves a purpose to someone. Because it's not really helping me process much. Well, maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little.
The fucking lost track. Okay,
You
memory.
have a horrible memory.
Yeah. So, see, I forgot what I was talking about. I like if I think back to high school, I remember flashes, like photographs of moments. I don't remember sitting through a class. I don't remember learning anything. Like, I don't remember much of anything, just bits and pieces, right? And come to find out, when you have ADHD and are undiagnosed, your body tends to spend a lot of time in fight or flight mode.
Yes.
Because you are stressed out trying to process the world around you, and rejection sensitive dysphoria, which puts you in fight or flight pretty much all the time. And when you're in fight or flight, your brain does not store memories. It's just like, nah, we don't need that.
Oh.
We got other shit to focus on.
So that's a double whammy. That's fun.
Yeah. So that was interesting to learn.
Okay.
After all of this time.
Yeah. Hold that. Oh, AC just turned on.
Yeah.
This feels so nice.
That first burst always feels so
When
nice.
it just yes. And literally, like, the vent blows directly on me. It's so nice.
So nice. I love it.
It has to go, like, it flows directly at me, and then the return is, like, on the wall over there.
It's like right in the middle.
Right past me into the return.
You have set yourself up like the inside of a computer.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes,
You are the CPU of your office, sir.
I need water cooling.
Me too. That was actually something I've been thinking about buying.
Water cooling for yourself?
Because my computers always run so hot. And I'm just tired of having loud fans on around me at all times.
I bought, let me find the one I bought. They're so easy. Deep cool?
Like, is yours quiet?
Hold on. Let me, where's my gate?
Where's my gate?
So this is, I think, with my gate off.
Oh. Like, snap your fingers. Oh, actually, I could hear myself. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me find my gate and show you the hell that I am in right now. How do I... Where's it at? That's a compressor. Oh, they moved everything.
It's the fat channel, sir.
Where did it go?
Where's...
I don't know. Oh, because I'm clicked on gate.
Did you lose your gate?
I don't know where it is.
A weird enchilada burp.
There it is.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. This is nonstop all day long.
So that is the cooler that I have. That I just put in the chat.
And it's pretty. We like the LEDs. We enjoy the LEDs.
There's no like extra software. You just plug it in and it does its thing.
Nice.
And you can kind of tell it like with my motherboard software, I can kind of tell it like just like you would tell a CPU fan. Like if I want it to just go full bore, I can tell it to go full bore. The only time I actually hear the fan spin up is when I'm rendering video.
Interesting.
Like when I'm gaming,
oh, I would love that.
It barely happens. It is super quiet. And like I admit that I don't often look, but like my CPU never like thermal throttles.
Here's one problem. So if I buy one of these, I'm gonna have to take my fan off of my CPU, right?
Yeah.
One thing I didn't do when I put this computer together, because I was in a hurry, and I was like, I'll do this later. I didn't.
Well, that's probably why your computer's so stupid hot. Idiot.
But now I'm worried because it's been so long that I'm like, what if the fan is fused to the CPU?
Well, I guess you need a new CPU. Sorry. You said you had money now.
I mean, that's true. Time for an upgrade. No, that would be awful. But I do kind of want to do this. How much was it? Where'd you get it from?
I got it. It was either Amazon or Newegg. It was like 100. I think right now, according to PC Part Picker,
Ooh.
It's $120, including tax.
That is not bad at all.
And it, like I said, it is super quiet.
Oh, it's 93 right now.
Oh, well, there you go. And you want to make sure that you find something that'll actually fit in your case. Because most of the time they come in so there's the 1-fan version, a 2-fan version, and a 3-fan version usually.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay.
And you have to be a little careful mounting it. Like, you want to make sure that it's either top mounted or it's mounted so that the air bubbles go the right direction.
Oh, gotcha.
But that's just a couple handful of YouTube videos will tell you what to avoid doing.
I think my case is built specifically for cooling.
Probably. Most anything in the last since 2015 are going to be able to take a radiator.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it is. This one's super quiet.
Oh, it's
and
a
like
lightning deal. So I would need to get it right now.
Those lightning deals are tricksy.
Oh, I know. It's already 36% claim too. They do this shit to me on purpose because they know that my brain is wired to just want to buy it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuckers.
But yeah, so right now, there's no load on my CPU, but it's sitting right at 50 degrees.
I don't even know what mine's at.
Not moving. And again, the fan is just, so it's, let's see, system temperature is 38. RAM is 34. So it's it's cozy.
Interesting. Well, I'll just check that out. I definitely, I don't know. I was thinking about buying a sewing machine too.
Oh, okay. Brother makes good entry-level ones.
I was going back and forth between a Brother one and a Singer heavy-duty one.
Singers are solid. Singers will last you forever.
Yeah.
But you spend more up front.
You do.
And I know, and because you have ADHD and this is going to be a project that you're really, really into for a month, go with a Brother.
I know, but then what if this becomes
your entire identity?
I know.
It's not going to. You're going to care about it for a month.
I know, but here's where my brain gets fucked up. What if I get the Brother and I suck? Then I'll always be saying to myself, is it me or is it the machine? I should have paid the extra money to get the good machine. See?
And there's the rejection-based whatever coming into play.
That is rejection sensitive dysphoria. Those 3 words changed my life. What was the printer gadget thing you got a couple of years ago? That right there.
The Cricut?
That is a Cricut. That is my printer. We're not going to talk about hyperfocus as much anymore because this was, especially considering I did not have a job, it was a very expensive endeavor.
But
right. And I still use the stickers. I just made way too many of them right off the bat.
Oh yeah.
And I still haven't worked through all of them. That was fun though, to make stickers and shit.
I need to make business cards, and that's just so unpleasant an experience.
Ooh. There's those places that you can get them for free.
Yeah, but they look crappy.
I mean, you could get those ones that are metal.
Yeah.
Or see-through. Or one of the big fancy ones that does something, you open it and it pops up your face in 3D.
Yes, that's just what we need.
Yes.
Here, this is your pastor. And his face.
I found. All right. I hope my mom's not watching. Mom, if you're watching, go away. If any parental units are watching, go away.
I mean,
I found the perfect.
Wait. Are we sure she's gone?
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Okay.
The perfect, Mother's Day, Father's Day gift. And I think I'm going to try to start this. I found it way too close to Mother's Day. It was already sold out. There was no way for me to get it in time. It's a card. It looks just like a normal card, but you have to prep it. When you open it, it just starts going, Mom, Mom, Mom. And there's no way to turn it off. 3 hours. It'll go for 3 hours before the battery dies. The best part is if you go to tear the card open, because it's glued in there, it's filled with confetti.
And it just goes, Mom,
Mom, Mom. And there's another one that just goes, Dad, 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 Dad.
It's amazing.
And I want that so badly to send to all of my parents.
Amazing.
I want to send one to my dad. I want someone to film it because he's absolutely going to call me the worst names he ever has.
That is utterly fantastic.
Beautiful, right? I don't know if I have anything else to talk about tonight. I'm so tired of the world.
Yeah. So many things are happening.
I kind of just want to go get high and play guitar.
I wish there was a game. Did you see, speaking of games, and I'm only bringing this up because I knew how much you loved this game. Did you see that Neverwinter Nights, the fancy edition, is on sale on Steam?
No.
They did an enhanced edition of Neverwinter Nights.
Jesus.
The base version is $7, and the full version with all the bonus nonsense is $30.
You're kidding me. Well, I'm gonna have to buy that just cause.
Oh wow, Jim Brown died.
Jim Brown.
The football player / actor and stuff.
Jim Brown. Oh, that dude. That's sad.
Yeah. I mean, he was 87, but yeah. Huh.
Where?
Yeah.
Okay, what is this called? Neverwinter.
Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition.
Neverwinter Mesopotamian. There we go. $6.99.
Hank,
I did.
What does Hank Green do?
What does he do? He's Hank Green, man.
No, what did he do?
Oh, he has cancer.
Oh, okay.
He has lymphoma.
Oh.
Yeah. But
that's our age.
Yeah, but he caught it early.
Cancer.
And it seems to be a fairly decent thing to have out of all of the different things.
I just saw his Twitter. They say God gives his toughest battles to his strongest warriors. He gave me super treatable early stage Hodgkin's lymphoma because he knows I'm a little baby.
It's amazing. Man, these graphics look awful. Do I really want to pay money for this? It looks really bad.
They look so bad.
So bad.
The controls are going to be janky beyond imagination.
Oh, I'm sure it's arrow keys.
What year did the original Neverwinter Nights come out?
Oh my god. Too long ago that it who knows?
I'm sure that this is just coasting on nostalgia.
Yeah, there's no way. My god, I put so many hours into this game. Why did I not notice that it looked this awful?
Because back then it didn't.
No, it would still look bad. We just were dumb.
Oh, I thought not too long ago about doing just because Knights of the Old Republic is such a good game, right?
It is a good game.
I thought about installing it and playing it the other day, and then I just saw some screenshots.
I know, it's so hard.
And I just remembered Karth's stupid face. And I was just no.
What kind of game would you gift me from the Epic Store?
Why?
What does Epic do that we care about?
What does Epic do that we care about? really want to
Goat
play
Sim
Goat Sim
3.
3. We need to find another like a game that we can stream and play.
Yeah,
like, that was when we were playing Turtles. That was fun.
Turtles was fun. We really enjoyed the party game. What was that party game we were playing on my streams forever?
Jackbox.
Yeah, we still got that. We could play some Jackbox at some
I have,
point.
like, all of those.
I think I've almost beaten the main story of Hogwarts transphobicness.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully soon I'll be able to move on to Jedi. Thank God.
Hogwarts double transphobicness.
Hogwarts. Why is it double transphobic?
Well, because the game's transphobic and the cracker's transphobic.
The cracker? Oh, the cracker.
Yeah.
I thought you meant
not the cracker. The cracker.
So wait, if it's double transphobic, does it like buffer overflow and become trans? What's the opposite of transphobic?
Transphilic?
Philic?
Actually, I mean, isn't that usually what happens?
The buffer overflow?
Yeah, when like you buffer overflow and you end up like watching porn of the thing you hate.
Wait, hold on. We need to unpack that statement for a second. When you buffer overflow and you end up watching porn of stuff you hate?
Yeah. Like the super racist dudes who watch porn full of black people.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was like, how... what websites are you on that you are buffer overflowing into weird porn? I'm sad the Star Trek agreement. I know.
What got borked?
There is a puzzle at the very beginning that is unsolvable. Like the thing that you should do in order to solve it does not work.
Which is it? Like one of the like TOS ones?
It is. Yes, it is. I will tell you which one it is. It is Judgment Rights.
Judgment Rights.
I think it's Judgment Rights, isn't it?
And it borks if you try to...
Or is it the 25th anniversary? It's the 25th anniversary.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, you go through and you get like... There's a beginning section, and one of the things, like I went and looked it up because I couldn't figure out how to... And I went and looked it up, and it was like, do this, and I did that, and it didn't work. And it's like a known issue that they don't know how to fix.
You had Spock use the tricorder on the drawing.
This was 3 years ago. I don't know. 2 years ago.
The solution is with levers in the middle.
Yes, doesn't work. I tried.
Interesting.
We can try it again sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we just call it really early?
I think so.
Okay.
I normally wouldn't do such a short thing, but this week, man.
All right. All right.
Next week's a long weekend. We both have Monday off.
Yeah, I'd be game to do something if you are. I think I don't have anything going on.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll that see. Day. It could, this next week.
Yeah, who knows what next week's gonna be like.
My direct supervisor is off for the next 2 weeks, so my next 2 weeks could be kind of a fucking nightmare.
I'm supposed to get my all of my power switched over on Thursday, so hopefully that goes well.
Hold on, I have. Hold on 1 second.
Holding on.
I want to buy you something. But I need to make sure it would get there in time.
Okay. I am questions and concerns.
You probably should, if I'm being completely honest. What are the chances The
I mean, if it's coming
fastest
from Amazon, pretty good.
the fastest delivery would get it here on the 23rd. Okay. Or the 24th to the 26th. I probably wouldn't make it. I wanted to get you a full-sized He-Man sword.
Oh my gosh.
So that as soon as they flipped it on, you could walk out onto your front porch and point it in the air.
And have Mrs. Pastor film me going, I have the power.
Yes.
You need to find a
Yes.
blonde wig, though.
Yeah, and a harness, a little sexy harness thing. And a cat that you can ride around.
That would be hilarious. No one would want to see that, but that would be hilarious.
I would want to see it. There's a hole in my head now that will be forever vacant.
that
waiting.
really just needs to be filled
Yes. An image of Pastor in a He-Man outfit.
with. Oh my goodness.
And then you have to spin around in a circle to What's Up by Four Non Blondes. And
Say, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey.
oh,
What's going on?
it's perfect. It's perfect. I am done with you. My brain is so tired.
I think I'm gonna go and go get some whiskey and maybe play some City Skylines.
I want some whiskey. I don't want whiskey, but I do.
Well, but you have other
I have
substances.
this thing, which is legal now.
See, there you go. It's medicinal.
It's look. Since we're I was like, I'll do it right now, but no, because I might not make it off the internet.
Yeah, there's I can't remember. Hold on, I need to look something up because I don't remember what week it is. I'm making a joke that like 2 people are gonna get in a Pastor Equals Parish episode coming up.
Oh,
And I don't remember if it's the one that just happened or if it's the one that's coming up. And I need to look because since I'm going to be in school, I need to get ahead.
wait. When you're in school, you get head. I ain't go back to school.
I mean, not my kind of school, but I'm sure there are schools that do that.
I would bet that your school probably higher on that list than you think.
You're probably not wrong.
Oh God, they're such cheap jokes.
Woo-hee.
Such cheap jokes. I love it.
Oh, yeah, it was the Pastor Equals Parish that would have posted on Sunday.
This last
Past
Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay.
There's a one-off joke in there that like I think 2 people would hear.
Am I one of those 2 people?
You are because
Okay.
you used the phrase that I used quite a lot.
I need to go watch that. I missed your last one. It's the first one I've ever missed.
It said that you missed out on
And
my
it's just
joke.
been, it's literally been sitting in the back of my head making me feel bad all week. So
Yeah, well, there you go. Now you have to watch,
I will do
and
that.
it's pretty early on too, so you'll know
Okay.
it when you hear it.
Okay.
Unless you miss it, in which case you won't know it.
That's true. And then I'll have to just keep watching it on a loop until I do
Yep.
get it.
Yep. But yeah, there's
Nice.
I actually left I put it in there kind of like as a joke as I was writing it to myself, and I'm like, no, there's at least one other person that will appreciate this.
Good.
So I
I'm going to
left
go
it in
do
there.
that. I'm going to go do that right now.
All right, sounds good. And I'm going to not do that because I recorded it. I don't need to watch it.
That's fair. And thank you, Barlazy. They
I'm
do
glad-
help me too.
And I'm glad that I'm glad you're on the Discord occasionally.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
You
But there-
could get on TikTok and I could send you weird TikToks in the middle of the night.
Oh, he absolutely sends weird TikToks in the middle of the night.
I do.
would-
They're amazing.
He sent me one of AI generated lava eating today. And I did not know what to do. As I couldn't not watch it, but I also it wasn't right on so many levels.
It was beautiful.
It was incredible,
They're,
but
like,
also it was
eating-
just not right.
Yeah, they were like eating lava.
Yeah.
And it was like a cookout, but in a volcano, and they were like sliding on the lava
Yeah,
and
it was
falling over
amazing.
and stuff. It was really
And-
weird.
And to be fair, I also send you some pretty strange TikToks on occasion.
I like the the back and forth of our TikTok talk, it keeps my For You page in line. And it keeps yours out of line, I think.
Yeah, I think it really does. It causes some real. It's good.
Yeah. Did you know that there's a button that you can go click to reset your For You page?
Oh, that would be. But then I'd get just like boobs all the time.
I know. Then I'd be stuck back in redneck land.
Like you would be assumed to be a straight white male.
I know. Again. Assumptions. God,
that's such a gross side of TikTok.
It really.
I've heard politicians talk about what's on TikTok. Like,
it's not.
I don't want that for realsies.
Right. It's not on my TikTok, but it seems to be on theirs for some reason.
There's one creator I follow that like they are very much they're just doing TikTok to get people to go to their OnlyFans.
Oh.
But like half of their content is hilarious stuff about Poland, and half of their stuff is like the thirst traps to get people to sign up for the OnlyFans.
There's someone that I follow on 2 different accounts. They have 2 different accounts. The first one is their poetry account. They do they do like heartbreak poetry. It's amazing. Nice. And she's really cute. And I'm like, okay, this is like a weird, okay, fine. Her other one.
And if it makes you make that face.
I was shocked at the 2 different versions. And then I was like, okay. But she'll cross post every now and then and be like, hey, just so you know, I do poetry over here. Hey, just so you know, I shake my ass over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. TikTok's amazing. I don't know why Montana wants it to go away.
I have a theory about why TikTok is such the focus right now. So here's my theory.
I have a theory too, but it's probably not the same.
TikTok is actually not giving anyone their data, and the U.S. government is mad about that.
100%. And they're also mad because as far as platforms go, we are the ones in control of our algorithm, right?
Right.
It's the only platform out there where we are in control of our algorithm, which means it's the only platform out there where we could actually organize.
Right.
And they don't like that.
No.
That's my theory. But I like yours too. I think the 2 of them together make a perfect theory.
I don't remember if I sent it to you or if I don't remember where I came across this.
Yeah.
But it was the thing about Captain Planet where it was like earth, fire, wind, water, and then Hart like yells, I'm coming, because they're in the bathroom, and it's just this like mutant blob of Captain Planet.
That would be amazing. You're like missing one.
I'll try to find it and send it to you because I think somebody sent it to me.
Nice. I was thinking because young people are communicating and sharing info. Yes, and they don't have any control over it, and it makes them angry.
Yeah. It's the old like they can't make protesting the war illegal, so they're gonna make brown people and marijuana illegal.
Yes. Yes. It's also why they constantly talk about how it's only little kids on there.
Yeah.
Because it's not at all. But they make it sound like it is a platform designed and pointed specifically at children.
I have made very clear to so many people, like if somebody says that their TikTok is full of teenagers in bikinis, then it's only that, like that's what they're looking for. Like, and they are telling on themselves.
That is what they are clicking on. Psyhawk was an amalgam that could form with less than 5. It just didn't have the full powers. New universe. Oh. Psyhawk. That's what happens when you miss one of the Captain Planet pieces.
You get Psyhawk.
See, that doesn't work with Voltron. You can't half-ass a Voltron. It's either the full Voltron or the no Voltron.
I mean, Voltron could go without a leg, I guess. Well, no, because they're all in the little cockpit thing, aren't they?
They are. I mean, I don't know.
Aren't they? Because Power Rangers, they're all like in their individual cockpits, I think.
Yeah, but they all form together. Voltron's the same way. They have individuals that all go into the main one.
Well, right, but like, it all depends on where the people go.
Right. Well, in the see, my brain's done. It doesn't care.
No,
It's
that's
like
just-
the
let's call it.
cockpit's in the face of the cat thing. Cool.
Good night,
Bye,
everybody.
God. Where's the? See, you threw me off. I don't know where the button's at. Where's the button?
What
Here's the
even was
button.
This? Why did we do this to ourselves?
I don't know. I love you guys. Thank you. The helicopter was cool though. Have a great time. Maybe we'll see you Friday. Maybe not.
I don't even know.
If
what's
we
happening
don't,
anymore.
have a wonderful Memorial Day. If we do,
I love all of you except Reaper.
and I love Reaper extra special much.
My brain hurts.
Mine too. Okay, bye.